Good evening, everyone. Welcome to our release of the Exploring the Benefits of After-School Programming in Preston County, West Virginia. The purpose of this webinar is to share some information about the value of partnerships and really highlight the work that the Adventure Group has done both in Preston County with the After-School Explorers program and also throughout the state of West Virginia and beyond in the after-school environment. So to get started, I would like to just kind of tell you a little bit about me, tell you a little bit about the Adventure Group. My name is Jennifer Watering. I am a senior program manager at the Adventure Group. I've been with the organization a little over 18 years, but during that time, I've had the opportunity to work extensively with after-school programs in our state. My overall background is 20 plus years of experience developing, implementing, and managing educational programming for a variety of audiences. And those audiences have spanned from the education environment to criminal justice environment and lots of things in between. Most recently, in the past probably 12 years, we've been working a lot with Preston County Schools in a variety of ways. And we're going to highlight some of that today, talk to you about how we've been able to support their 21st Century Community Learning Center program, and then ways that we as an organization have grown in our support of after-school programs in the state and beyond, and how we encourage you to look for partners that can also support you in your program. So these are the core values of our organization. The Adventure Group is a nonprofit organization. We just recently, in June, we celebrated our 23rd anniversary, which for a nonprofit is a huge deal. So we celebrate that on a regular basis. But some of our core values, and these align very closely with a lot of the organizations that we partner with, Preston County being one of them. Our integrity ensures we are honest, responsible, and build trust with our clients. Our empathy ensures we are creating with compassion, caring, and understanding. Our quality ensures we are consistently exceeding expectations in our delivery, dependability, and accountability. And our community helps us provide service to our clients, foster connection, and co-create. And I can tell you that, and shortly I'll ask Dana Kelly, our partner at Preston County Schools, to share a little bit. But I can tell you that the work that we do with our partners is very individualized. We don't really have anything in our organization that allows us to just take something off the shelf and bring it to you. We work extensively developing, co-creating things with our partners and implementing that. So combine these intrinsic values, help us build a visionary team comprised of bold problem solvers that innovate and reimagine education. And that's true across all of the projects of the organization. So this is our mission. We're committed to creating customized solution. As I mentioned, nothing really that we do is off the shelf, to educational challenges through capacity building, professional development, and strategic consulting. And all of the things that we mention as part of our mission are ways that we've supported Preston County Schools in the last 12 years. And some of those things are going to be highlighted in the report that we're going to share momentarily. So I want to begin to tell you a little bit about our partnership, because a lot of the work that we're doing now has developed over time. This isn't all of the support that we provide and all of the strategic consulting and the problem solving that Dana and I work together on a regular basis to accomplish didn't just happen overnight. We started years ago, before I was even with the organization, by developing an after-school curriculum. And at the time, there was not an after-school curriculum out there, and we worked with a funder to do a needs study, and what was needed was a curriculum that was really focused on academic achievement. They really wanted to see something that had some pre and post assessments, so we could show that students were learning, they were gaining from their time in the after-school environment. So we developed that. We had that. Again, that was over 18 years ago. And since then, obviously, there are a lot of other curricula available, but we're proud to say that at the time that there wasn't anything, we were able to work with educators to develop that curriculum and then provide it to after-school programs so that they could begin supporting students learning and gathering that assessment data for funders. We also, and Preston County Schools was one of the adopters of that curriculum. So that's kind of how our relationship started. We also have the ability and continue to provide capacity support. And that comes in a whole range of things. That could be from materials ordering, all the way to some of the site visits and the support that we provide currently with accountability to the programs. And so, again, a lot of after school programs, a lot of 21st century programs in particular, are staffed with individuals that are part of the school day staff as well. And so there are many times that we're able to provide support to the program that is needed during the day when those other individuals aren't available. Also, professional development. The Adventure Group is well known across the state of West Virginia for developing and delivering professional development to educators. And we have done that for Preston County Schools as well as other clients for many years. The After School Explorers program, we have been able to, over the course of our relationship with the county, look at what has worked, what has not worked, and we'll talk a little bit about some of the challenges that we faced in the professional learning realm and how we've worked together to solve those challenges and come up with a way to continue to provide professional development to staff, but not have to cancel the program because of limited staffing. And finally, consulting, that's where we've grown to today. We work on a regular basis. Dana and I meet on a regular basis to really provide insight, to really co-create some of the program elements. The most recent work that we did together, we did support the development of the two 21st century grants that the county had submitted. One was fully funded, one was partially funded, and so the partially funded one we decided to put off and reapply later so that we could hope to seek full funding for. But we had a key role in that. We were able to support Dana as she kind of thought through how she wanted that program to look and provide some additional best practices, research-based information that we've learned through our work over the years that could be incorporated into those grants. So here we are today. The Adventure Group provides various levels of capacity building support, professional development, and strategic consulting to Preston County Schools After School Explorers program. And I'm going to take this opportunity to ask Dana Kelly to come off of mute and hiding in her camera being off, and just talk briefly about the history of our partnership, how you've seen it since you've taken over as the project director, and where you see us going in the future.
The biggest support from me was in the very beginning. Your organization has provided
Can you speak up a little bit? I'm having a hard time hearing you, and I don't know if it's on my end or your end. That's better.
Okay.
Yes.
So just wanted to make sure that, everyone would understand this is my second grant cycle, but this is only my fourth year. So the after school program has been in effect for 15 years or more. And when I came in, there's no guide. There's nothing that tells you this is what's been done, this is what hasn't been done. But that's what Adventure Group provided for us. They had been in partnership longer than I've been the director. So it was kind of nice to be able to sit down and talk about things that have happened, things that what the direction or the idea was for where they were going with the grant that I came in the middle of. So all those kind of things are helpful. Just like she said just a minute ago, consulting, talking about ideas, what we want to implement, and speaking about problem solving. That's huge for me. There's not always someone available here in my office to sit down and talk about a certain problem, but Jennifer's usually around and I can speak with her about what is it I need to do, or what do you think about this? I mean, those kind of things provide a lot of support to our program because our staff is thin. So there's not always someone available when I need them, but she is available. And honest feedback, that's good too when it comes to program evaluation. She's a fresh set of eyes to look at things and not tell us what we want to hear maybe, but what we need to hear. Again, she talked about professional development too. Some of these things just take a load off my back. She works with a lot of the professional development, so I'm not having to actively plan every bit of that. That takes a lot away from my chores, to be honest, because of course this isn't the only job I have. I was trying to think, there's so many other things. Okay, so the beginning of the year, is extremely busy for a school system. And there's not anyone that's available to help you with anything. But when I need Jennifer, she's there, or I need help with our beginning of the year meetings, pulling that off, getting everybody together, getting just something as simple as taking notes at that meeting so that we know we have everything recorded that we want recorded. And I mean, I don't know what else to say. It's a great partnership. Anything you need or want. I've never been told I can't do that or I don't know how to do that. The support's been there.
Thank you. Thanks, Dana. And I think, that speaks volumes to the organization of the Adventure Group, that we figure it out. If it's something that we haven't necessarily done before, we have a whole host of individuals on our staff that I'll speak to just briefly in a little bit, that as partners with the Adventure Group, our clients have access to. We have an innovation team, we have a prevention team. And anytime there's a need from one of our clients, anytime Dana brings something up and, I'm just not sure what that looks like. If it's a prevention issue, then I'll pull our prevention team together. We'll meet, we'll talk, and we'll brainstorm. And then I can take those ideas back to Dana. That came into play when we were developing the most recent grant. I was able to call upon an educational researcher that we had on staff, as well as folks from our Family Engagement Center and individuals from our prevention team, actually, and our innovation team, to see what made the most sense for programming, what we could incorporate from each of those areas to make sure we had the strongest grant application possible. And so I appreciate your kind words, Dana, and I will say that it is definitely a mutually beneficial partnership, because I learned so much from Dana and her staff on a regular basis. And as I continue to learn, I hope that I can, impart more ideas and wisdom on them as we go throughout our partnership. This is just a kind of a glimpse at some of the things that we're currently working on with the county. We co-develop program content and plans. We provide leadership and family engagement planning. The Adventure Group is the statewide family engagement center, so we have extensive background and knowledge in that area, and so we're able to provide that support to after-school staff as well. We serve as subject matter experts and thought partners. All of those individuals, all of those areas that I mentioned, we have subject matter experts that can provide insight through their best practices work, through research, whatever the case may be. The Adventure Group has done a lot of work with STEM Next and their Million Girls Moonshot initiative. And so we're very passionate about helping after school programs in particular incorporate STEM activities. And we understand that, you have to be comfortable with STEM in order to start using them in your program. And if you're not comfortable with STEM, you're not using it, and then you're not exposing the students and or the families and caregivers to those activities. And so we work a lot with 21st century programs, with childcare centers and facilities that are serving school age youth, in ways to start becoming comfortable with that, ways to build their capacity and understanding of STEM so that they can then support that for their students and their families. We lead the professional development efforts for Preston County. Again, as Dana mentioned, that's something that she doesn't have to worry about. That doesn't mean that I just go out on a limb and develop what I want to develop and take back to her. That's co-created. We talk a lot about what are some things that we're seeing, what are some things that the staff would benefit from. We also seek out staff voice in those. We give them the opportunity to kind of share what are some things they would like to learn about, what are some areas that they feel like their staff could improve in. And then finally, because I'm based in West Virginia, I'm able to do that site observation and coaching for sites on a regular basis. So I can travel to sites after school, be there to observe the program, see what things are going on, and then provide guidance for them. And not only for them, but take that lessons learned and provide that insight to other programs. We can't always send every staff from every program to other sites in the county. We just don't have enough people to do that. But I can go, I can do observations, I can give feedback to them, then I can also bring that information through training back to the other programs. So this is the benefit, and Dana spoke briefly to this about the benefits of prolonged partnership. The Adventure Group, like I said, has been partners with Preston County Schools for over 12 years. That's included multiple grant cycles, 3 different superintendents, and 2 different program directors. I was just joking through, I was doing a professional development for staff the other night, and I was joking with them that I think that I have been with the After School Explorers program longer than anybody else in the county office or in the school system. So there are things that I can provide insight to Dana, insight to the staff, the leadership at the county to say, this is something that we did before. This worked, this maybe didn't work, but, maybe we could try it again this way. So all of those things, that's one of the benefits of the prolonged partnership. There's a lot of, again, historical context with the institutional knowledge over time that I've been able to gain. That also provides the opportunity for me to do some strategic consulting. As Dana said, we problem solve a lot, especially we are just in the first year of our new grant. And any grant director will tell you, any person working with an after school program or 21st century program, a lot of the first year is, taking your goals and figuring out what works best for each of your sites. No two sites are the same. And so we have to make sure that we know who our sites are serving, what students are there, and how we can best support the staff to support them. And finally, stability and knowledge supports growth. I'm a consistent face for staff. When I do the trainings at the beginning of the year with Dana, I always let them know that I'm available to come to their site and do trainings if they would like. They know that they have questions about anything, that they can come to me. They can come to me through Dana if they'd like, or come directly to me, and I can help them. I might be able to answer that for them, or I might seek out the assistance from someone else on the adventure group team. But that's a consistent face and a place where staff can go for support and for answers. And finally, as knowledge grows, so does innovation. Over the past probably 15 years, I will say, the amount of knowledge that the staff from the adventure group has been able to gain around out of school time programming has been exponential. And anything that we gather, that we gain in that area, we then pass on to our clients. So I've been able to serve as a peer reviewer for multiple states' 21st Century Learning Center programs. So that's information. I'm better understanding how the 21st Century program works, what some of the requirements are, and I'm able to take that information and then support our goal setting in Preston County, the development of what makes the most sense for these programs and the students that we're serving, because it is different. It's different from year to year, and it's different from site to site. So again, we say all of those things. Dana mentioned it, but I went into a little more detail with that, just to show that prolonged partnership really is a benefit to the adventure group as well as Preston County as we continue to build our knowledge and we're able to pass that on to them. So broader impacts, again, as a way of explaining more of, how our work in Preston County has allowed the adventure group to grow in our work in after school, providing support to after school programs. We are continuing to always familiarize ourselves with the 21st Century Community Learning Center funding opportunity. While it is different from state to state, it is a federal grant, so there are some things that are the same. So again, we learn that through the peer review process and just really becoming more familiar with the funding. We are recognized for our expertise in out-of-school programs, out-of-school time program support. I have presented at multiple conferences. Much to Dana's dismay, I drag her to some of them and she presents with me. But we present on the value of partnership often, but also we have expertise in customer service, creating welcoming environments, family engagement, STEM, communication, you name it. We probably have presented on the topic for an after-school focused audience. Dimensions of success, if anybody is familiar with the Dimensions of Success, I am a Dimensions of Success certified observer. And so if you are interested in having your program evaluated or have an observation done for your program on STEM programming through the Dimensions of Success tool, I'm able to do that. I worked closely with the Department of Human Services, Division of Early Childhood and Education, as well as the West Virginia Statewide After School Network, and the revision of the most recent West Virginia statewide after-school quality standards. And I'm going to mention the West Virginia statewide after-school network here momentarily as another resource in our state. But those standards are currently being implemented. There's training ongoing for programs. And so we are very familiar with that as we took a role in the facilitation of the revision of those standards. And finally, partnerships with the Adventure Group bring additional grant opportunities for programs. I will say that anytime we have an opportunity to provide additional support, whether it's innovation, career awareness, family engagement, we know that we have a partner in Preston County Schools. And so we seek out that opportunity. And so oftentimes that comes with maybe additional professional development, that could come with additional funding. But we know that, we believe that partnership is a two-way partnership. So anytime we have the opportunity to bring additional grant resources to the county, we take that and we look to see if that's a good partnership opportunity with them. So finally, would I love to work with everyone? Absolutely. But, the purpose of this is to really show you the value of partnership with anyone. And so without meaningful partnerships, you, your staff, and your programs may miss out on, again, grants and additional resources. That's one of the things that Preston County is able to access through our partnership. Innovative thinking through not only the growth that I've been able to personally gain the knowledge of through my work in after school, but also all of the individuals that work at the Adventure Group and have knowledge and expertise in certain areas. Our partners have access to that. The network of experts, sometimes there are questions that we don't know the answers to, but we know somebody that knows somebody that has the answer. So we're able to connect those resources together, connect those networks together and find answers for our clients when they're needed. And finally, that capacity support. Dana talked about that briefly. It's difficult sometimes for programs that have limited staff to find somebody to do something as simple as develop an agenda for a meeting, or Dana mentioned taking notes, and we can be that resource for programs. So again, we talked about the consulting, the capacity support, and the professional development. The one thing I'd like to say just briefly about the professional development is Dana and I have worked for many hours on finding a way to be able to support professional development in Preston County without having to cancel the program. Staffing is limited. There are not a lot of substitutes that provide support if we take the site coordinators and the instructors out of the programs for the day. So what we've done is over time, we've tried various things. And I will say that, Dana is very good about, okay, well, let's try this and see how it works. And if it doesn't work, we don't just keep doing it because we said that's what we were going to do. We revisit that, we revise, and we kind of move on. So now we are at a place where we have professional development modules that staff complete on their own. We are able to track and see that they, we have some assessments built in there to make sure that not only that they completed the activities, but the content was gained, the knowledge was gained, but then they can take part of that professional development and we don't have to cancel the programs. They can still do their after school program. We have those opportunities. They can do them on their own time, and then they are compensated for those hours that they spend in professional development. We recognize through talking with them that one thing they missed about that face-to-face professional development is the peer learning. So we've incorporated what we call live virtual trainings, one of which we just had the other evening, and we wait until after the end of the program. We hold them at 6:30 in the evening. Everybody gets on a Zoom webinar, a Teams meeting, and we do our professional development that way. So they're getting the content, but they're also learning from one another. And feedback for those sessions has been great. They really appreciate the opportunity to not only learn from me, but learn from one another and hear how other sites are doing things, how they've addressed challenges that they've seen, and how they can continue to grow together. So Dana, do you want to say anything about professional development?
Yes, I feel like our site coordinators and our staff really appreciate the fact that it doesn't have to be done right now. It can be done on their time when they decide to do it, as well as they love getting together and being able to discuss things that work at each site and taking ideas away from that professional development and applying it at their site. That's been the biggest positive outcome, I think, for them, is that they are able to get feedback from each other and to collaborate on what works and what might not work, and they don't seem to mind it. I mean, there's no complaining anymore about professional development at all. They're completely happy with the way it's being handled now, and that Jennifer does a nice job with that.
Well, thank you. And we work together over time to figure out what works best for the programs, what works best for the staff, what works best for the county. I will say Preston County devotes a large portion of their grant to professional development of their staff. As I mentioned, the staff do receive payment for that professional development time. And, you know, depending on the other required trainings that they have to take part in at the beginning of the year, it could be anywhere from, 5 to 10 hours of additional professional development that they receive through these modules and these live virtual trainings. And so I think that shows a commitment to the staff that they are, they want them to grow, they want them to learn. And, I do incorporate things that not only apply to the specific after school program in Preston County, but also, to their field as a whole. So I think that that's a great opportunity for them. And I think that also, demonstrates the commitment from the county to make sure their staff are learning and growing all the time. So all of the information that we're talking about, all of these great things you can find in the report. The report is on the Adventure Group website. We will share that with everyone at the end of this presentation, or my email is there. You can email me. But in that report, you'll learn more about the history. You'll learn about the support and accountability that we can provide. It talks a little bit about innovation, how we've grown, how our organization has grown in this field, but how we've grown in our support of Preston County. And finally, the commitment that we make to Preston County schools and to all of our customers and our clients that we work with. We are committed to helping you achieve your goals. You see the benefits from the work that we do together. And again, everything is very, very customized to your needs. And we have lots of conversations. I will say Dana and I spend a tremendous amount of time either meeting in person or on the phone, just talking through things, seeing how things are going, seeing what works and what's not working, and what we need to do to adjust. So these are a couple additional resources, as I mentioned. If you're not already utilizing resources from the West Virginia Statewide After School Network, I encourage you to do so. Look them up, find what opportunities they have. There are some new opportunities they have for professional learning coming up. So I encourage you to look at that, as well as the 21st Century Community Learning Center National Technical Assistance Center. This is something new that has come from the 21st Century Community Learning Center program. Previously, what was the U for Youth, I think, if you've been around for a while. But this is a new technical assistance center that supports 21st century learning and 21st century programs. So this is a quote from Dana at the end that she asked me where it was, so I added it to the presentation. It's also on our website. But it just speaks volumes to the benefit of partnership with the Adventure Group. All of these things she spoke to, but the program continues to grow each year. Our partnership continues to grow. And I appreciate the fact that Dana is appreciative of my honest feedback and the resources that we're able to provide. We have conversation all the time together. Did you want to say something, Amber? No. Okay, she must have just come off mute. But I appreciate the conversations that we have. And like I said, we continue to learn from one another as we go. That quote's on our website and it's in the report, but I just want to highlight that at the end. And then finally, consider us a partner. If you have any questions at all, please reach out to me. My email address is there. If you have questions of Dana, want to know more about our partnership together, please do so. That was Amber's son that wanted to ask a question, but please reach out to us. We're happy to share any information, answer any questions. Check out the report. There are some highlights of data that we've gathered through the feedback that we've received from our work, but also some of the important work that Preston County's done and how that's really improved their program over time. So thank you for joining. We appreciate you being here.